The Vital Foundation aims to support organizations in the fight against women and child abuse. Now, the Vital Foundation has launched a campaign called the One Rand Makes a Difference campaign, and through this, every supplement that is purchased, Vital Health Foods will donate 1 Rand to the Vital Foundation. Now, joining us in studio are attorneys Mandi Mudarigwa and Charlene May from the Legal Resources Centre to give us a bit more insight on the work that goes into what they do in support of the fight against abuse of women and children. Ladies, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Let's start first by talking about, the legal system, Mandy. How does it go about protecting the rights of women and children in regards to abuse situations?
Okay, so as you know, in South Africa, the legal system always starts at the Constitution. So the Constitution has specific rights geared towards protecting the equality of women, among other rights. And then in light of that, there are specific legislations that have been put in place that are geared towards combating, preventing, and protecting women from violence. And in addition to the enacting of laws, there's also implementation of the laws that must be done. So it's almost a sort of a two-tier prong. You put laws in place and then you must implement them to protect women and children from violence.
Let's speak a bit more on the rights that women have and how these go about protecting them from abuse, because we know that gender-based violence is one of the biggest problems that we have in our society. So these rights that they have, how do they protect women from abuse?
Well, I think, again, just starting with the Constitution is very clear on issues around equality and the right to equality. And so it starts there, that women and men, or people of all genders, are equal. That's probably the most paramount right. And then the Constitution also talks about bodily integrity and safety and security. And also very important, the Constitution talks about the right to dignity. And at the end of the day, when we talk about violence against women and children, the issues around dignity, equality is paramount.
If we take our conversation and shift around to the legal perspective of things, what would you say are the laws that are in place to protect women? And in your experience with women, are women aware of these laws at all, Mandy?
I think there are two laws that are vital. It's the Domestic Violence Act and the Sexual Offences Act, which is numerous amendments. There are some women that are indeed aware of the laws, because we get quite a number of people coming in saying, this has happened to me, how can I protect myself? But there's also quite a number of women. I would say probably 40% would know, but quite a large number of women still don't know that they've got these rights or they've got these laws, because there's not been enough work done to educate the women about the laws and how they can protect themselves. Or even if you go to court, what do you do at court? Who do you see? What do you do? A lot of women don't know that.
Now, Charlene, I get this quite a lot when it comes to this topic of abuse, that, when does it amount to abuse? When is it time to feel like you should be alerting those necessary kind of resources around you, like the police? When do women know that this is happening right now to me and I should seek help?
I think that the rights that we have flow from our inherent dignity that we all have, and this inherent sense of right or wrong. And so when Mandi says that a lot of women know about their rights, but more women don't know about their rights, they still approach us for assistance. So I believe that there's something humane within all of us that recognizes that when something happens to me, that this is not right. When we look at the laws that have been enacted, the Domestic Violence Act very clearly speaks to types of abuse and defines types of abuse. That includes any issues around emotional or psychological abuse, economic abuse. It talks about sexual abuse, and then, of course, physical abuse. And all of those things are defined. So if women suspect that this is happening to me, and potentially this is wrong, is this a form of abuse, they would be able to seek assistance and could be informed that indeed this scenario or this situation does amount to abuse.
Now, I think a lot of the times the legal system can be pretty daunting, and it could be quite a deterrent factor as to why people don't end up reporting these. So if you could just maybe break it down to us, Mandy, about the role players in the legal system and exactly what their role are in supporting women and children that have been abused.
You have to sort of distinguish between two situations. So a rape situation, for example, would be a crime. So that would go through to the prosecutor's office. So ideally, it's the state's case prosecuting against the person who's violated that. So the key role players there would be the prosecutors, and they're also sort of victim support groups that can go and talk to women and help them sort of navigate the justice system. And right now in South Africa, that's predominantly being done by civil society organizations. So they've done little booklets about the justice map, and if you're here, this is what it means. And then in the domestic violence system, it's really now yourself going there saying, I want you to protect me. So it really becomes who you approach there at first.
Yeah.
And it's the clerk of the court.
Yes.
That is who says to you, you can do this or you can't do this.
Yeah.
And then you've got magistrates. You also, in that situation, also have civil society organizations like ourselves.
Yes.
We also offer legal representation to the women because sometimes they're not able to articulate essentially how this is a legal problem
Yes.
because they understand it very simply. So then sometimes as lawyers, we sort of step in and help make the legal arguments for them. So it's lawyers, prosecutors, civil society organizations, clerks of the courts, and, you know, the magistrates themselves who have to make the decision on whether or not you need to get your rights protected.
Ladies, thank you very much for coming in and shedding some light on the issue of gender-based violence. So the Legal Resources Centre is where you'll find the information. We'll have that on our Facebook page and our website as well. And remember that every single day that a woman, a man, or a child are abused is a day too long and a day too far. We need to stop this, and it all starts with us.
The Vital Foundation takes action against women and child abuse. R1 from every Vital pack will be donated to organizations fighting abuse. Make a difference.